back, and between segments, when this camera runs, we talk about stuff. I might put it in the outtakes. But Jose gets a little salty even for YouTube, so I don't know.
That's true.
So anyway, back to the things that have been going on in the industry recently. DC has not been blameless, too, in some of the stuff that's been going on over there. The Batman Rest in Peace story arc has really not been what people would expect.
The worst part about it, though, is like the real Rest in Peace storyline is going on in the Morrison Batman, but then they're putting the little like Rest in Peace like kind of crossover thing like above like Detective and like Robin. Yeah. But I read Detective, the last month's Detective that came out, and it had the Rest in Peace. It had nothing to do with Rest in Peace. It mentioned that it's one of those things like back in the Crisis days, like in the 80s, where it'd be a Crisis on Infinite Earth tie-in, but like the sky would be red, and that would be it, that would be your tie-in. Well, this is like Catwoman says to Batman, I think like, so someone is trying to kill you, huh? Or something like that. And it has nothing to do with the Rest in Peace storyline, because actually they bring Hush back into Detective, and it's going to be a 5-issue story with Hush. Which is, I mean, I like that book, and that book is fine, but it had nothing to do with the Rest in Peace. It didn't add to anything, and I don't know if the subsequent issues that come out for Detective are going to add to anything. But DC is fucking just whoring out the shit like Marvel does with Secret Invasion.
Well, everything just seems so separated from each other, too, because, I mean, you read Superman now, it doesn't seem to have anything to do with what's going on with all the other books. You read Justice League, just read the separate titles, and there isn't any real cohesion there. Yeah. Which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but then when you have these great big events that everything is supposed to be brought together, it doesn't seem like something like Final Crisis should be considered to be canon. You know, even Grant Morrison himself has said, why can't people just enjoy it as just a story that people are telling? Which is all fine and dandy, but then don't do 2 52-week series that people are plunking down $3 every week to set up that story, and then the story itself doesn't matter.
I don't blame Grant Morrison for that.
Oh, I don't blame him at all.
But right. I'm sure. I mean, he just wrote it as a 7-issue thing. It's like, great, this is my thing. Mm-hmm. But again, we talked about this last time. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It was just editorial dropped the ball, but now there's just like. Oh, there's too much stuff coming out, like one-shots and miniseries, and it's just like the Secret Invasion thing. Not as bad, but it's still bad enough that they shouldn't be doing it. And I don't know, man. I was like looking through previews, this new one that came out, and it's like there's just nothing good in there, like nothing exciting at all. Like between the Marvel and DC, and just like even like that Image never really has anything exciting besides anything that Robert Kirkman does.
But Kirkman is
he's a partner now.
Oh yeah, he got brought on as an Image partner. Although I've got a bunch of friends who we've kind of been hammering on Kirkman lately because the Walking Dead has just been he's killing everybody. He just kills everyone.
So?
Well, but why am I going to go to a story and get emotionally invested in people when you're just going to kill them? I mean, if I know that, well, it doesn't matter anything that happens here. I call it the Alien 3 syndrome. Why should I care what Ripley does in Alien 2 if by the end of Alien 3, everyone that she fought to save is going to be dead anyway? So the same thing with Walking Dead. Why should I care about any of these characters, what they go through, their trials and whatever, if Kirkman's just going to kill them anyway? You know, it's like, I mean, I know maybe he's saying, hey, in the end we all die anyway, but again, entertainment and getting invested in characters means you get a payoff. And in the payoff, if the payoff is, hey, guess what? They're dead. I'm going to be pissed.
Read Invincible then.
Invincible,
the best superhero comic on the stands right now, and the best superhero comic to come out probably in like the last 10 years.
Yes. So, I mean, I guess I don't want to harp on I guess maybe by saying that a lot of the stuff out there is kind of crap right now. It's maybe a little on the harsh side. Because there are creators who are busting their humps who have absolutely nothing to do with Final Crisis and Secret Invasion. And, and if people get soured on what the big two are doing, maybe this should be a time when we start saying, well, Marvel and DC are kind of sucking donkey butt right now. We should start giving smaller press companies, and I even lump Image in with the big two, because they're just slapping their label on everything and putting out stuff. And yes, it's creator-owned stuff, but I'd like to know, what role does Image play in the type of, the quality or the marketing?
I don't think they do. They're just a publisher. They're
just a publisher, right? So why am I going to spend whatever amount of money it takes to put the Image label on my book to get, a page in previews, and they do a thing in Newsarama?
Yeah.
Whoopee.
I don't know. I mean, the only publisher that I can think of that I don't think has done anything bad, and if anything, they've done sporadically nothing but good things, is Dark Horse. I mean, Dark Horse still has Buffy, and Buffy is still easily, month in and month out, one of the best comics out there. The Umbrella Academy, which was the best, I guess, it won the Eisner, for best finite limited series, which was easily the best comic of last year. November, I guess, is they're doing the second one, which is awesome. And The End League is another book which I think is really great. I wish would come out more often. And then they do all their Star Wars stuff, and they keep all the Star Wars people happy with all their stuff. And I mean, Dark Horse, I think right now is probably the best comic company that I can think of. They don't have the market share that Image does or the other guys do, but you know what? I think that they actually have their shit together, and the quality control is pretty good, and then they put out good stuff.
I gotta say, the Indiana Jones books that they've done, pretty damn good. I mean, I say even better than a lot of the Marvel stuff that Marvel did when they had the license. And they've done a great job with the indie books, which I'm afraid I might not be seeing so many of those, because I guess sales on those aren't that hot.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, and even like some of the Buffy stuff has been running over like 40 pages.
Huge. Yeah.
Like 40 pages, and they stole $2.99.
Right.
It's, I don't know. I can't think of anything bad right now to say about Dark Horse. But I mean, they put out good stuff. Their manga line is easily the best manga line out of all of the companies. I mean, Viz and Tokyopop sucks, but I mean. They're...
Well, IDW, have they been? Well, IDW's been doing a lot of licensed stuff.
Yeah, they don't do manga.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about just publishers.
Just publishers and IDW, but their shit's too expensive. $3.99 for a fucking comic book.
No.
And their Angel stuff, really didn't thrill me. It's I had high hopes after Whedon did Buffy, but Whedon's only has doesn't really have a lot to do with it. I think he's just like co-plotting it.
Right. Well, he's letting Brian Lynch.
Yeah. Do. But I mean, I don't know. So Dark Horse is the best comic book company out there right now.
And the new undisputed champion.
Yeah, now.
Mike will be sending you your championship belt in the mail. In the next segment, we'll talk about what does the marketing strategy behind Dark Horse Comics have to do with Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Cool.
We'll talk about that in the next segment.